Charlie Kirk, my friend, Charlie Kirk was publicly executed. Mrs. Erica Kirk addressed not just the nation, but the entire world. Her words were very powerful. That footage was so crucial, first and foremost. Now, there are tons of other cameras. That one gets grabbed first. It seems to me that there's a lot of hiding and there's definitively a lot of lying that's going on. I told you, Tyler Boyer lied.
Imagine witnessing a moment so explosive it could rewrite history and knowing it was caught on camera by someone who wasn't supposed to see a thing. That's exactly what happened at Charlie Kirk's final rally, a fleeting, jaw-dropping moment that no official feed ever captured. A shadow in the chaos, a figure moving with purpose behind the scenes. The footage, now leaked, is sending shockwaves across the internet and threatening to topple an empire. Candace Owens called it the ghost they tried to erase, and insiders say it exposes betrayal, cover-ups, and secrets no one in TPUSA wants you to know. What did that cameraman really capture? And why is everyone suddenly terrified of a single 17-second clip? Buckle up, this changes everything. Charlie Kirk, the fearless, firebrand founder of Turning Point USA, the man whose speeches could electrify tens of thousands and whose words ignited a generation, was no stranger to controversy. For years, he had been both idolized and vilified, a lightning rod for praise and rage alike. But beneath the polished rallies and viral videos, whispers of tension, internal rivalries, and brewing betrayals had begun to circulate. Those closest to him, staffers, volunteers, and even his family, knew that Charlie's rise had attracted envy and resentment, and some insiders feared it could end in disaster. His wife, Erica Kirk, a force in her own right, and recently stepping into the public eye as CEO of TPUSA, had always projected calm and control, but sources now claim that behind closed doors, there were heated arguments about the direction of the organization, about who got access to rallies and who was trusted or not. There were red flags everywhere, one anonymous former staffer told us, but no one wanted to admit that the stage Charlie stood on could become a death trap. The stage at Utah Valley University, gleaming under the midday sun, had been set for a rally unlike any other. Charlie's message was clear: reclaim America, take back the schools, fight for freedom. But even as the crowd roared, a small faction within TPUSA had reportedly been agitating behind the scenes. A leaked internal email obtained by our sources, supposedly from a high-level staffer to Erica herself, warned of unauthorized personnel moving near the stage crates. The email, timestamped 8:30 a.m., was allegedly ignored, or so insiders claim. And according to these whispers, that oversight may have opened the door to chaos. Then there was the elusive cameraman, the man whose lens would soon become the single most important eyewitness of that fateful day. Hired last minute through a freelance contractor, he noticed something off almost immediately. I saw movement behind the crates, he later recalled, speaking under anonymity. It wasn't crew. It wasn't a fan. My gut told me this is trouble. His instincts, which he followed despite instructions to focus solely on Charlie, captured a fleeting shadow, a figure so deliberate, so calculated, that even the best trained security teams could have missed it. And no one, not Erica, not the board, not TPUSA's leadership, would have imagined that this rogue cameraman would hold the key to exposing a conspiracy that could shake the organization to its core. This wasn't just a rally. It wasn't just politics. It was a collision of power, ambition, and secrecy. Every glance, every frame, every whispered warning was a piece of a puzzle no one could have anticipated. As the sun rose over Utah Valley that morning, the stage was set not just for a speech, but for a moment that would ignite social media, ignite outrage, and rewrite the narrative of Charlie Kirk's life, and ultimately, his death. And what that single 17-second clip captured, no one would ever forget. The day at Utah Valley University started like any other rally, but it quickly turned into a nightmare no one could have predicted. Charlie Kirk, mid-speech, voice booming across the campus, electrifying thousands with his fiery rhetoric, had no idea that a shadow was moving behind the crates near the stage. The crowd, buzzing with excitement, had no clue that in the blink of an eye, chaos would erupt. That shadow wasn't random. Insider sources claimed it was deliberate, calculated, and sinister. The rogue cameraman, adjusting his lens, noticed the figure, a hooded presence clad in tactical gear, slipping silently behind equipment crates. I knew instantly something was wrong, the cameraman later revealed. This wasn't a fan. This wasn't staff. This was someone who knew exactly what they were doing. Against strict instructions to focus solely on Charlie, He kept rolling, capturing a moment that would become the most explosive footage of the decade. Then, the unthinkable happened. A single .308 round tore through the air, striking Charlie in the neck. Screams erupted, chaos took over, and medics rushed forward. But as the world focused on the tragedy, the figure in the shadows vanished, gone into a blind spot where security cameras conveniently malfunctioned. According to a leaked security log obtained by our sources, there was a 4-minute gap in surveillance coverage precisely when the figure appeared. Coincidence or a planned execution? The first twist came when Candace Owens played the rogue footage on her live podcast. Millions of viewers watched in horror as the figure moved with precision, crouched low, scanning the stage, and then seemingly signaling toward the sniper's perch. "This is the ghost that tried to erase," Owens declared, her voice trembling with fury. Leaked messages from TPUSA staffers, shared anonymously, suggested that the figure may have been waved through by someone in the higher ranks, and that warnings about unauthorized personnel had been ignored. Social media exploded. Twitter threads dissected each frame. Fans posted side-by-side comparisons, noting the glint of metal at the figure's hip, the tactical movements, the eerie timing of the stage camera's failure. "How does this happen at a political rally?" wrote one viral account. "This wasn't a mistake, it was planned," posted another. Meanwhile, insiders claim Erica Kirk, attending an off-site donor meeting at the time, was informed of the breach and allegedly did nothing. Questions swirl. Was she distracted or complicit? And a twist that sent shockwaves through the right-wing political world. Sources revealed that the crates weren't just holding equipment. One whistleblower claimed they contained unlisted devices, a signal jammer, capable of disrupting comms, perfectly timed to blind security cameras. The stage was, in effect, a trap, and the rogue cameraman's lens had captured the setup in all its horrifying detail. By the time the footage went viral, the narrative had shifted. Charlie Kirk's death was no longer a lone gunman tragedy. It was a masterfully orchestrated conspiracy, and the first piece of evidence, the shadowy figure in tactical gear, was proof that someone, somewhere, wanted him silenced. And the chilling part? Nobody knew who it was or how deep the betrayal went. The moment that 17-second clip hit the underground streaming platforms, the world erupted. Social media became a digital battlefield. Fans, pundits, and political insiders dissected every pixel, every shadow, every movement of the hooded figure. Twitter threads exploded overnight, millions analyzing the figure's tactical vest, the glint of metal at the hip, the impossible precision of each step. "This isn't a fan," one viral post declared. "This is military-grade precision. Someone planned this." Memes, conspiracies, and doomsday predictions flooded feeds. Hashtags like #ShadowManExposed and #CHARLIES last moment trended globally, igniting a firestorm no one could contain. Candace Owens, never one to let a story die, amplified the chaos. On her marathon podcast, she revealed insider leaks claiming the figure was more than a lone actor, it was part of a shadow team, a covert operation potentially tied to TPUSA donors, rogue staff, and unknown operatives. They wanted to erase him, Owens seethed, holding the freeze frame of the figure. But the cameraman refused to blink. And now, the truth is in the light. Celebrities and influencers weighed in. Tucker Carlson tweeted, "If this footage is real, TPUSA has questions to answer. Who authorized this?" Meanwhile, student journalists at UVU posted side-by-side shots of the figure, showing minute differences that suggested multiple people or repeated pauses, hinting that the operation was rehearsed, methodical, and terrifying. Even mainstream outlets, cautiously at first, began reporting on the footage, calling it the most disturbing revelation in recent political rallies. Then came the second shockwave. A whistleblower identified as Leo Carter, a stagehand present at the rally, confirmed that the crates weren't ordinary. According to Carter, one crate contained signal jamming devices unlisted in official inventory, capable of disrupting cameras and security comms. "I thought it was maintenance at first," he said, voice trembling. But the guy had no badge, no clearance. He moved like he owned the shadows. Carter's account, paired with the leaked footage, painted a horrifying picture. Charlie Kirk wasn't just attacked. He was exposed, trapped, and silenced with precision. Tech sleuths and online investigators dove into the metadata of the leaked footage, confirming no edits, no tampering. The timestamps revealed deliberate camera manipulations, coinciding exactly with the figure's movements. An enhanced audio track even picked up a faint, Garbled transmission cleared for entry, suggesting real-time coordination between the shadow figure and the sniper's perch. The implications were chilling. Tyler Robinson, long thought to be acting alone, might have been guided by unseen hands. As the footage went viral, TPUSA scrambled. Erica Kirk released a statement praising our heroic crew, while sidestepping questions about the shadow figure. Board members reportedly panicked behind closed doors, questioning security failures and budget cuts that left cameras unmonitored. Protests erupted outside TPUSA offices. Students chained themselves to storage crates, chanting, "Show the shadow." The digital and real-world chaos fed off each other, building a crescendo that no statement could contain. And the final revelation? The figure, traced through flight logs and security feeds, appeared to have boarded a private jet post-rally, allegedly connected to a shell company tied to major donors, raising the terrifying possibility that this was a conspiracy with global stakes, not a simple domestic attack. The narrative had shifted completely. Charlie Kirk's death was no longer just a tragedy, it was a blueprint for betrayal, a meticulously planned conspiracy, and the first undeniable proof that someone wanted him silenced. And they weren't done yet. The moment the footage went public, social media erupted into a digital inferno. Fans flooded Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram with reaction videos, heated debates, and shocking frame-by-frame analyses. #ShadowmanExposed trended worldwide within hours. Supporters of Charlie Kirk expressed outrage and heartbreak. How could TPUSA let this happen? One viral post screamed, "This wasn't a rally. This was a setup," wrote another, paired with a freeze frame of the hooded figure. Meanwhile, detractors used the footage to question TPUSA's competence and alleged internal corruption. A conspiracy? Or negligence? Either way, someone's hiding the truth. Celebrities and political figures jumped into the chaos, adding fuel to the fire. Candace Owens repeatedly tweeted clips, her captions laced with fury. This is the moment they tried to erase. But truth doesn't die. Tucker Carlson speculated on air about internal betrayals and possible donor involvement. Marjorie Taylor Greene called for congressional hearings. Even mainstream outlets, initially cautious, couldn't ignore the story headlines blared. Was Charlie Kirk's death orchestrated? Shocking footage raises questions. TPUSA's offices became a pressure cooker. Insider leaks suggested frantic board meetings, security audits, and whispered threats aimed at staffers who might talk. Erica Kirk, now at the center of the storm, issued statements praising our heroic crew, but refused to address the shadow figure or the gaps in surveillance. Her silence sparked anger from students, staff, and the public. Protests erupted outside TPUSA's Phoenix headquarters, signs reading "Who is the shadow?" and "Justice for Charlie" dotted the streets, while online petitions demanding transparency racked up tens of thousands of signatures. The fan base itself splintered. Some hailed the rogue cameraman as a hero who exposed a cover-up. Others questioned his motives. Was he a whistleblower or a participant in the conspiracy? Forums lit up with endless speculation, 3D reconstructions, and conspiracy maps tracing the figure's every movement. This wasn't a lone gunman attack, one post declared. It was orchestrated. Someone wanted him silenced, and the cameraman caught it all. Meanwhile, analysts and self-proclaimed experts dissected every angle. Former SWAT officers commented on the figure's tactical movement. Tech bloggers traced metadata, confirming no edits and pointing to a deliberate camera override. Some theorists suggested that the shadow figure's gear matched equipment used by private military contractors, hinting at a donor-funded, professional hit squad. Even student journalists at UVU published side-by-side stills showing near-identical positions, captured by multiple cameras, further validating the footage. And the outrage didn't stop at speculation. Political commentators warned of a chilling precedent. If a conservative titan like Charlie Kirk could be targeted in such a meticulously planned way, who else might be next? Online debates exploded over free speech, campus safety, and political violence. The public was polarized, furious, and terrified. And every new leak, tweet, and insider confession only fanned the flames. The message was clear. Charlie Kirk's death was no longer a private tragedy. It had become a national crisis, a conspiracy exposed, and a storm of outrage that showed no signs of slowing. And behind the chaos, one question haunted everyone: who was the Shadow Man? And how far did this conspiracy reach? Just when the nation thought it had processed the horror of Charlie Kirk's death, the unthinkable happened. Candace Owens dropped a second clip allegedly from the same rogue cameraman showing the shadow figure exiting the rally. The figure's movements were deliberate, calculated, and chillingly calm. Unlike the first clip, this one hinted at something far darker. The figure wasn't just a passerby or a hired mercenary. Insider sources suggest he carried a small, unmarked package, disappearing into a waiting vehicle that vanished before security could react. This wasn't just a setup, Owens declared, voice breaking with fury. This was a handoff, and someone wanted to make sure Charlie never spoke again. Then came a bombshell. The FBI, in a rare leak, confirmed the discovery of a second, cryptic note in Tyler Robinson's apartment, one that hadn't been mentioned in previous reports. The note hinted at accomplices, with cryptic phrases like "the plan is bigger than we thought and don't fail before the target falls." For the first time, the story shifted from a lone gunman tragedy to a potentially coordinated conspiracy, spanning multiple operatives, donors, and even insiders at TPUSA. Analysts now question everything: Robinson alone, or a pawn in a master plan? As the footage went viral, investigative journalists revealed yet another shocking detail. The shadow figure had been traced to multiple locations over the past 48 hours, including private jets, unregistered vehicles, and even a secure warehouse reportedly tied to political donors with known conflicts with Kirk. Could this be the same network that tried to silence him before? The implications were staggering. Someone powerful, organized, and ruthless was operating in plain sight. Meanwhile, Erica Kirk, at the center of the storm, vanished from public view for 2 days. Leaks suggest that board members pressured her to issue a statement addressing the figure, but her silence only deepened suspicions. Was she complicit, or simply terrified of the fallout? Social media went berserk. Hashtags like #whereas Erica and #shadow conspiracy began trending globally. Crowds gathered outside TPUSA offices chanting for answers. The message was clear: the public would not let this go. And the most chilling revelation of all, insiders claim the shadow figure may have direct ties to individuals within law enforcement and private security firms, suggesting the possibility of institutional complicity. Was Kirk betrayed by those who vowed to protect him? Could Tyler Robinson have been manipulated or even framed as part of a larger game? The footage, the notes, the missing oversight all pointed to a truth far more sinister than anyone imagined. Owens ended her live stream with a final, bone-chilling warning: this is just the beginning. The shadow isn't gone. The people who wanted Charlie silenced are still out there. And now, we see them. Her words echoed in millions of homes, leaving viewers gasping, furious, and desperate for the next revelation. The question now hangs over America like a storm cloud. Who was the shadow figure? How far does this conspiracy reach? And who else is in danger? The answers aren't here yet, but they're coming. And when they arrive, the world will never look at political rallies the same way again. Now, it's your turn. What do you think really happened behind the scenes at Charlie Kirk's final rally? Was Tyler Robinson acting alone? Or was he just a pawn in a meticulously planned conspiracy? Who is the shadow figure? And how far does this network reach? Drop your theories in the comments. Every detail, every clue matters. If you're as shocked and outraged as we are, hit that like button to make sure this story spreads. Subscribe and turn on notifications, because the next episode will reveal even deeper secrets, leaked texts, hidden footage, and potentially explosive new whistleblower claims that could rewrite everything we think we know about TPUSA and Charlie Kirk's death. Don't just watch, join the investigation. Share this video, tag your friends, and let's piece together the truth together. The shadow isn't gone, and neither is the story.